Well, we've asked lawyer Joseph Neuberger to walk us through some of the legal questions Canadians may have about the trial. Let's start with what the Crown was trying to accomplish today, and did they?
Well, I think they tried to lay out the foundation of this payment and how it came to be, and that it would look and resemble this bribery charge that they have. But in my opinion, I think the Crown has done a pretty good job of laying out a strong foundation for the defense. They've certainly laid out a number of very crucial emails, some of which speak very early on to Mike Duffy, saying, if there are problems with the housing allowance that I've claimed or the secondary allowance that I've claimed, I want to rectify this. There's a fair amount of paperwork and statements by Mike Duffy in those documents, which I think are very fruitful areas for the cross-examination of the defense. And so although the Crown has established a large part of their case, they've certainly handed a lot of documents and a lot of fodder to the defense team.
You know, there's always been this question about how can a bribery charge only be at one end of the payment, as which it is. Is there anything today that made it clear why Nigel Wright hasn't been charged with offering if Duffy's been charged with accepting?
Yeah, I think if you look at the evidence today in conjunction with what his statement was originally, what we know publicly from his interview with the RCMP, it seems that Nigel Wright on his own made the decision to write a check out of his own account and provide that to Mike Duffy to make the repayment. And I haven't seen any evidence, directly or indirectly, to suggest that that was under the direction of the government, of the PMO office, or the Prime Minister. So in that regard, he may have just simply been fulfilling what he said to the RCMP. I felt it was the right thing to do for me to help to make sure that the money was repaid. And he did have an understanding or a belief that Mike Duffy thought that, although some of the expenses might have been inappropriate, Mike Duffy thought he was just following what he was told originally. So that stands to support that he should not have been charged as part of a bribery case, but it does undermine the overall charge against Mike Duffy.
Briefly, what do you expect from the defense tomorrow?
Well, I expect the defense to come out quite strong with very vigorous cross-examination. I think they'll introduce additional emails that haven't been introduced, but there's a tremendous amount of information within the emails now that's in evidence to cross-examine on to show that Mike Duffy had taken a very strong position, that he felt he was following instructions and rules that he was told about originally. It will feed from the cross-examination as done before to show that all those rules are archaic, vague, and that because of that, this flows into the bribery charge. So I think it'll be a very strong cross, but I think he will focus a lot on the PMO office and try and maybe target the Prime Minister, which I don't think is necessary in my view, but I think that's something he's going to go after.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Joseph
you.
Neuberger.